President Biden is in Belgium tonight ahead of talks with NATO and European leaders. It's the second stop on an 8-day foreign trip, his first as president. But it's his face-to-face summit with President Vladimir Putin that's attracting the most attention. America has an agenda of grievances for Putin. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is in Brussels tonight with more. Ed, good evening.
Errol, good evening. The president's now here in Brussels after weekend meetings about the economy and the global response to the pandemic. He's turning his attention now to thornier issues of national security and the U.S. Russia relationship. President Biden today became the 13th American head of state to meet with Queen Elizabeth II.
Reminded me of my mother in terms of the look of her and just the generosity.
The courtesy call at Windsor Castle capped 3 days of events in the United Kingdom for the president and his debut on the world stage as commander-in-chief.
America is back at the table.
Mr. Biden now turns his focus to mainland Europe. He's in Brussels for meetings with NATO and the European Commission, and Wednesday in Geneva, he's set to become the 5th American president to meet face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Before departing the UK, Mr. Biden said he agrees with Putin's assessment that the U.S. Russia relationship is at a 30-year low.
I think he's right, it's a low point, and it depends on how he responds to acting consistent with international norms, which in many cases he has not.
The president said he'd consider a Putin-proposed prisoner swap with Russia and is hopeful they can partner on fighting climate change and ending the conflict in Syria. The U.S. and Russia are also part of a UN-backed agreement against cyber hacking. But Secretary of State Antony Blinken told Face the Nation today he's skeptical of Russia's cooperation.
I think someone once said, trust but verify. I'd say don't trust and verify. We'll see by Russia's actions whether it will make good on any commitments it makes.
During the first major in-person global summit of the pandemic era, the G-7 ended with plans to counter the rise of China and overhaul international tax laws. But leaders didn't set a firm date on ending the use of coal, one of the biggest contributors to global warming. And progress on those issues can't be fully achieved anyway until the world gets control of the pandemic.
I know that the world was looking to us to reject some of the selfishness and nationalistic approaches that have marred the initial global response to the pandemic.
To that end, G7 leaders today announced they'll be donating at least another 1 billion doses of the COVID-19 vaccine to developing countries. But even President Biden admitted today it'll take until well beyond the end of 2022 for the entire world to recover from the pandemic. Errol?
All right, Ed O'Keefe in Brussels tonight.